In this video we'll see Top 20 Blender Add-ons. Creative Park. Expect the unexpected. Subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Log into creativepark.co.in to download latest Blender add-ons. Number 1. Extra Mesh. By default Blender starts with a basic mesh, which is a cube. By clicking the Extra Mesh in Addons menu, now we see the number of extra mesh added to the drop-down menu. Let's start with Rock Generator. A property window appears in the left bottom to edit or add and subtract the subdivision of the mesh created. You can select different kinds of rocks given below presets. Most importantly, when you click outside the mesh or do any other operations, the panel disappears and does not come again. Now, let's have a quick look at the following primitives. Wall Factory. One of the most useful mesh for architects' hoop designs and the construction of buildings. Round Cube. Extra Torus Objects. Extra Mesh is the best included free add-ons in Blender 2.8x. Number 2. Otto Mira. Otto Mira works by cutting the mesh at the pivot point of the object. From the Otto Mira panel in the sidebar, select the Edit tab. To increase the subdivisions of the mesh, press Ctrl R, or right-click to select from the drop-down panel. The Otto Mira add-on is a quick way to make a mesh symmetrical. Number 3. Bool Tool. Select the mesh and hold Shift+D to duplicate the mesh. Scale down and translate the duplicated mesh for a clear view. Hold Shift to select two objects. Select Bool Tool. Difference. Union. Intersect. Slice. Brush Boolean is similar to auto Boolean tools. The result is the main object is constantly influenced by the second object. The function is very similar to the Boolean modifier. Number 4. Camera Rigs. By default, Blender opens with a camera, light, and a cube. By activating Camera Rigs from add-ons, they are Dolly Rig and Crane Rig added. Let's start with Dolly Camera Rig. For a better view of the camera adjustment, let's subdivide the 3D view by moving your cursor to the top right corner and drag horizontally. Hit numpad 0 for camera view. Camera Rig comes with 3 bones setup: root, control, and aim bone. The controls can be only adjusted in pose mode. Crane Camera Rig. Crane camera comes with the arm height and arm length sliders at the bottom in View 3D panel. By default, both the height and the arm length are at 1 unit in size. These values only show in the interface when a crane rig is selected. They are also animatable. Number 5. Dynamic Sky. Dynamic Sky is an built-in add-on to create a procedural sun and sky. To create Dynamic Sky from View 3D panel, change the world properties from World to Dynamic 1. And change the viewport shading from solid to render preview mode. Increase or decrease the value given in the property panel. From rendering property form view 3D panel, change device setting from CPU to GPU compute. Number 6. Blender Kit. Blender Kit is an add-on to get access to free models, materials, and brushes. To activate the add-on, you need to sign up, which takes to Blender Kit URL. Create an account and activate by pressing login directly in Blender Kit settings or profile tab in Blender Kit panel. Your API key will appear on the bottom of this page after registration. To download the model, click on the image to load in your scene. It depends upon the internet speed to download a model. Select the models from the given categories. Both free and paid models are listed in View 3D panel. Now, let's apply a material to mesh. By grabbing the selected material from the Blender Kit panel and drop on the active mesh. Start using Blender Kit to become a creator. You can upload your models to become a creator. For more details, check blenderkit.com/creators. Number 7. ANT Add-on. By clicking the landscape button in Create View 3D panel. Adjust your mesh in Last Operation panel to design your mesh. Select from operator presets given below. Let's see few examples from the operator presets. Mountain, lake, and a planet. Now, let's create a quick bridge and river using the add-ons we gone through in this video. Number 8. Sapling Tree Generator. This add-on creates trees and renders the realistic trees. From the Last Operation panel, load preset submenu which contains different kinds of trees. Let's select with Dow Glass, Fir from presets. Importantly, do not use Ctrl+Shift to undo. The tree mesh gets deleted. When creating your tree, it's often best to use the settings in order until you're familiar with them. Press the Show Leaves checkbox, and you will see leaves on the tree. Armature. This submenu contains the settings to add an armature to your tree. The armatures can be used in animations. Press play animation to play back in the viewport. Number 9. Archi Mesh. This add-on is specially designed to generate architectural tools. Let's start by creating walls. Increase the wall thickness to 2.4 and 2.20. Increase number of walls to 4. Click the checkbox to close ceiling and floor. Now, let's create a door and a rail window. Repeat the same process to fix the walls in the first floor. Let's fix a panel window. As we can see, the walls are still closed. Let's fix it by attaching holes in the wall mesh. Carefully select the black outline mesh. And shift select the wall. Click the auto holes from room tools from Archi Mesh submenu. Number 10. Archi Pack. You can manipulate the primitives with a real-time on-screen editing interface. Let's start with creating walls. Hit numpad 7. To edit in top view, you can increase or decrease the length and width by dragging the arrow symbols. Click the top arrow to create the second wall. To undo, click the arrow facing backwards. You can also turn on and off the manipulators from Aki Pack in View 3D panel. To create a curved wall, change the settings from straight to curve from the Archi Pack submenu. Archi Pack comes along with different kinds of presets: doors, windows, and staircase. Some of the other primitives, like floor, slab, and roof, also have presets. Number 11. Loop tools. Create a plane from Add drop-down menu. Right-click to increase the segments to 10. Create a circle. Hold Alt plus Shift to select both edge loops. Press Bridge from submenu in Loop Tool. Same input method can be used for Bridge and Loft Tool. Circle. A simple method to create a circle. Select the vertices from the plane and press Circle from Loop Tools. Flatten. Flatten is the method used to calculate spline, so that on average the vertices will have to be moved the least to be flattened. Curve. Select 2 or more vertices on the same loop, press Curve. This will evenly distribute the vertices along the curve. Linear calculates straight lines through the control points. Cubic gives a smooth curve. Loft. For loft, you can use the same input method as for bridge. You can select more than 2 input groups and have them bridged consecutively. Number 12. Bolt Factory. This add-on creates bolts and nuts with options. Menu to select bit type and head type. To create bolt, from Add drop-down menu in the viewport, Add Mesh. From the last operation panel, select the model and type of bolt and nuts. Number 13. Anim. With this add-on, we can animate vertices, bevel weight, vertex colors, and others. Before we start, change viewport to animation workspace. Anim add-on works only in edit mode. Click the points checkbox in Anim submenu to animate the vertices. To keyframe, press the insert button. You can now see 3 yellow dots of the keyframe and dope sheet. Move the slider in dope sheet and vertex in viewport to insert another keyframe. Now play the animation in object mode. Edge bevel weight works by adding the bevel modifier. In the bevel modifier, set the offset limit method to weight. To animate textures, change the viewport to UV editor. Animate UV's location, rotation, and scale. Feel free to experiment each submenu. Number 14. Tree lighting. By default, Blender opens with single light. By activating tree lights add-on, we can now see back, fill, and key lights in scene. Adjust the key light in upper front of the object, and the fill light in lower front, and the back light behind the object. Increase the power of key light to 1000 watts, and fill light to 50 watts. Add color to each light, for better understanding. Remember always the fill light, value, and position should be lower than the key light. Backlight is otherwise called rim light. The power of rim light should always be higher than key and fill lights. From render properties, select the dimensions and press F12 to render. Number 15. Turn around camera. In View 3D panel, in Animate submenu click the Turn Around option. The camera calculates the active object in center. Turnaround camera is suitable for product visualizations and character turnarounds. Number 16. Blender GIs. Download link is given below in the description. Select the zip file from Install Addon in Blender Preferences. Assign a folder to save base maps which can be used as textures. You can see the GIS menu in top center of the 3D viewport. Click the base map from Web Geodata submenu in GIS menu from viewport. Press G. Enter the country name you want to zoom in. Increase the zoom level from 0 to 20. Select the area you like and press E in your keyboard to export. Now you see a kind of texture is applied to our image plane. From GIS submenu select Get SRTM to get the height information. Now you can see some variations in the plane. To create buildings and others, select the plane and click Get OSM from the Web Geodata submenu. Click the checkbox Elevation from Object to gather the height information of the buildings. It may take few minutes to load up the city. In Outliner window you can see a lot of layers including roads, buildings, and extras. Let's apply some materials to buildings and terrains. In edit mode select the front part of the face in building and apply select polygon sides to apply the material to all front faces. Assign a new material. And select the top part of the face in building and apply select normal to apply the material to all top faces. Assign a new material. To fix the UV maps press U from top view and select project from view from UV mapping submenu. Change to UV editing workspace in 3D viewport. Select exports at WM from browse image menu. Adjust the UV to fit the image. Let's apply a texture by adding image texture node in shader editor. Connect color to base color. Now you see the texture applied in building mesh. Let's fix a camera for aerial view of the city. Create a sunlight to brighten the scene. Add dynamic sky in background. This add-on require at least Blender v2.80 to work correctly. Number 17. Textfx. Textfx add-on is divided in two sections. Simple and advanced animation. Let's start with increment in simple submenu. Press numpad 7 for top view. Increment shows an animated number. You can place your custom text before or after the decimals by adding the text in prefix and suffix tab as shown in the video. To adjust the speed. When you increase the speed in the settings, it will decrease the speed of the animation. You can set frame number to start the animation. And also increase or decrease the decimals in given parameters. Typewriter will animate text as you would watch the text typed by a typewriter. There are parameters like start frame, duration, right to left. You can also customize the cursor shape and start frame in given cursor parameters. Scramble. The letters get scrambled, and at the end the text is unscrambled and readable. Click the checkbox Start Invisible to start the animation from 0 visibility. And click the checkbox Right to Left to animate the letters from right to left. There is a drop-down menu with different character types to scramble the text. Timer is like the time on a clock radio. Shows hours, minutes, and seconds. Read lines. Add some text in the scripting workspace and add some lines. This option then will show line by line. To customize the text, press Tab in edit mode and enter your text. You can also increase the depth of the text from Object Data panel. Increase the offset and extrude parameter in panel. And also you can change the fonts as shown in the video. Advanced. The options are more for text to animate. We can now change offset. To change the center pivot of object. Adjust spacing of letters. And shear, skews the letters along the horizontal axis. And bevel to increase the thickness. Also change the fonts. By default, Advanced comes with 3 inbuilt effects. Wave can set in what axis the text has to show wave animation. There are settings like factor, random speed, wiggle. This option let the fonts wiggle individually and randomly. And again we can set the axis, easing, factor, speed, and extras. Copy animation. You can copy the animation of another object on your text. Press Shift+A to create an empty object. Press I to set a keyframe in frame 1. Move the empty object and change frame number to set another keyframe. Change the empty object name to animation for easy understanding. Now, select the effects controller. Click the square box icon. Select animation from pop-up menu. Now you can see the text getting animated. Try experimenting with the given parameters. You can also add secondary animations from Kinect submenu. Number 18, Commotion. With this add-on we can make offset animations. Let's start with adding keyframes to the cube. Add rotation keyframe from 1 to 10 frames in same position. Rotate the cube in x-axis 90 degrees angle from frame 20 to 30 frames. Now we are done with rotation keyframes. Now insert a single keyframe in y-axis location, in same position from 1 to 20 frames. Move the cube location, -3 in y-axis from frame 20 to 30. Press 1 in the front viewport to duplicate the cube. Press Shift+D and X+3. Press Shift+R to repeat the process. You can see all the cubes animates in same position and rotation. Select all cubes, change to graph editor in 3D viewport. Press Offset Animation button from Commotion and View 3D panel. Now you can see the offset of F curves are neatly done. You can also reverse the animation by clicking the reverse checkbox in View 3D panel. To copy animation, create another active object and select the animated object and click the copy button in Commotion submenu. Repeat the same process, then click the link button and view 3D panel. Let's add a shape key. Duplicate the object with a shape. Select the duplicated object and select the main object and press copy. Now insert a keyframe in Shape Key submenu in Commotion panel. Press copy from Shape Key submenu to copy animation. You can increase or decrease the offset parameters to adjust shape animation. Commotion add-on, in which an effector that drives the animation by proximity. Let's duplicate the cubes in rows and columns. Select all cubes and create a new collection from Object drop-down menu in 3D viewport. Change your custom name to identify easier. Now create a effector to drive the animation. In this scene, I created a empty sphere. Change your custom name. Click the checkbox Proximity Effector submenu from Commotion add-on and view 3D panel. Click the square box animated to select the cube collection and effectors created earlier from Proximity Effector menu. Click the checkbox Location. You can set values to start and end locations. Let's animate the effector to see results. Now you can see cube's behavior when the empty object moves around. Let's look at some of the presets in Animation Offset panel. Create a plane and duplicate the plane in rows and columns as shown in video. Let's animate the planes to offset the animation. In the Sort by drop-down menu from Animation Offset panel. By default it is cursor, where animation starts from the center point of cursor. Name, where the animation of the plane starts from first name in collections. Random, animates the planes randomly. Number 19, RigACar. You can download the scene file in the link given in description below. Before we start, make sure the model is oriented along the y-axis, which means the front of your model exactly matches the front view in 3D viewport, and make sure the wheels lay upon the grid. RigACar Addon expects the name convention to discover the structure of your model. It's highly recommend to rename the model and to follow a naming convention for each part as shown in the video. Your model may have multiple parts. One object for the wheel rim and another for the tire. Then parent the rim to the tire object as shown in the outliner in the scene. Let's add the car deformation rig by pressing Shift+A from Armature submenu panel. Make sure you're not selected any objects in the scene. If you look at the rig, you will notice each bone is oriented in the same direction as the car, along the y-axis. You can use the operator panel to tweak the deformation rig. This is just to show you how to tweak from operator panel. If you have correctly prepared your model, you should not have to tweak the deformation rig, because RigACar Addon will be able to analyze your model and create an accurate deformation rig. Let's delete the rig. Select all the objects of your model and then add the deformation rig. Once the deformation rig is added, you can now generate the complete rig. Click Generate button from Animation Rig and View 3D panel. Now you can see the RigACar Addon has generated the animation widgets in 4 different colors. Navy blue widget is the root bone. Light blue widget is used for drifting the car. Yellow widget is the suspension. Green widget is to control steering. And the red widgets are the ground sensors. The animation widgets are dispatched over several armature layers. First 4 widget layers are for animators. The next 3 layers are for the riggers. Layer 14 contains bones necessary to tweak the position of the widgets. Press Tab to edit mode to tweak the bones. Layer 15 contains main mechanical bones. This layer is mainly used to add extra bones to existing setup. Select the new bone and shift select the MCH body bone and press Ctrl+P to make a child to main bone. The extra bones can be used for opening doors of the car model. Layer 16 contains all deformation bones. Those bones are originally added by the deformation rig. Layer 32 contains all mechanical bones. Let's start animating the car. Create a path from Curve submenu. Adjust the path in edit mode. Increase the resolution of the path to make animation smooth. In object mode, select the path and shift select the root widget. Press Ctrl+Tab to pose mode. Again, press Ctrl+Shift+C. Select follow path in add constraint. Now you can see the root widget is constrained to the path. Let's adjust the bone constraint property panel to follow the path smoothly. Let's fix the path exactly to the center of the root widget. In Object Properties panel, adjust the delta transform in Y location to match your root widget. Click the checkbox, Fixed Position to offset animation from 0 to 1. To follow the curve exactly, click the checkbox, Follow Curve and set axis to -Y. Because the model is oriented along the -Y axis. Let's insert keyframe in offset parameter from range 1 to 250. We can see wheels are just sliding. Increase value to 1 in the wheels on y-axis parameter in Animation Rig and View 3D panel. To rotate the wheels along the path. Now let's create a plane for road sensors. Let's add array modifier from modifier properties panel. And a curve modifier to follow the path. Increase the number of counts in array modifier. Adjust the curve in edit mode to create ups and down of the plane. When you're done with your plane, rename the plane to custom name. You can see the gap between the ground sensor widget and road. To close a gap, click the drop-down menu in ground sensor submenu. Click the eyedropper tools and click the plane. Now can see the ground widgets are close to the road plane. Repeat the same process to all the wheels. Now, let's keyframe the streeing widget. Now we are done with the keyframes. Let's play the animation. Number 20, Boxcutter. Download link is given below in the description. Select the zip file from Install Addon in Blender Preferences. Boxcutter Addon, used for concept design, utilizing on-screen drawing. You can find the Boxcutter Addon in left toolbar in viewport. And also you can see Boxcutter Addon with lots of menus in top toolbar. Press N, you can see the Addon in View 3D panel. Activate Boxcutter by hitting hotkey Alt+W or by clicking the Boxcutter icon in left toolbar. To start using Boxcutter, left click on selected surface and drag. Release the mouse and drag once more for the depth. To draw perfect square or rectangle shapes, hold the shift key to make the sides even. By holding the Alt key, you can drag the selection from center of cursor. Click again to execute the operation. Let's see in detail about different operations in the menu. Press B to bevel tool. Drag with left mouse button, click again to extrude the depth. Scroll the middle mouse to increase the segments, and double click to execute the operation. Press X for slice tool. When you activate slice operation, you can see the color changes from red to yellow, which highlights the slice operation. Click the left mouse drag and press X for slice option. Next we'll see offset and extrude. Press O to offset the top of the box, and E to offset in bottom of the box. Press Z to insert operation. Purple color highlights the insert operation. Press J to joint operation. Green color highlights the joint operation. This is similar to union operation tool. Press K for knife tool. The light blue color highlights the knife operation. You can only see the cut in edit mode. Press T for solidify tool. Solidify operation adds thickness to the cut. Press A to make or create a new mesh and does not affect the actual mesh. Press Y to extract. This tool allows to copy multiple cuts. When you are done with cuts, drag selection and press Y to copy the cuts. Now drag over any part of surface to copy the cuts. Press V for array tool. it creates array for the cut. By scrolling the middle mouse button, you can increase or decrease the count of arrays. Press Tab to lock the cutter shape. You can modify the cut shape with any tools in Boxcutter property panel. Another important tool is holding the shift while drawing the shape. It allows the influence object visible. You can also adjust the influence object in edit mode. The hotkey for the Boxcutter is D. A pie menu appears. You can access all property panel in Boxcutter Addon. Ctrl+D is hotkey for changing the mode and operation panel. You can change cutter selection from cube to circle. By scrolling the middle mouse, you can increase the segments. You can also draw shapes using N-Gon tool from Shape property panel. By default, Boxcutter Addon is non-destructive behavior. Which means modifiers will not be applied. By clicking the Apply Modifier button, you can apply all modifiers to selected mesh. In destructive behavior, the modifiers are applied automatically. Subscribe, hit the notification bell,